So yesterday afternoon at about 4:36 p.m., our office received a 911 call from the residents. It was a landline call, not a cell phone call. It was a hang-up call. At that time, after we received the hang-up call, which we do in a number of cases on a daily basis, we responded deputies to the residents. Upon arrival at the residence, the deputies noticed that the front door was open. As they approached the house, they seen what they believed to be someone laying on the floor. They gave verbal commands. There was no response. And at that time, there was a gunshot that went off. After the gunshot went off, they tactically approached the house when some backup arrived and discovered that the suspect, Jacob Stockdale, had attempted suicide and shot himself when they arrived. They also discovered 2 victims in the home, 54-year-old Catherine Barbara Stockdale and 21-year-old James William Stockdale. Both were deceased as a result of a gunshot wound. Deputies continue to investigate the case along with the Stark County Coroner's Office. Once we have more information available on the case, we will provide it to you. Currently, the suspect, Jacob Stockdale, is in Cleveland Metro in critical care. At this point, I can take any questions.
Can you confirm for us, did the 2 die from a gunshot as well? Were they shot to death?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
You had calls out to this residence prior to this incident last night?
No, ma'am.
Had you responded there recently? Or
No, ma'am.
And the 2 older brothers, they don't live there and they weren't there at the time?
There are 2 older siblings that do not live in the home.
And the father was not home at the time?
No, he was not.
Father indicate any issues that have been leading up to this?
None at all.
Mental health issues?
Never mentioned anything of that nature.
Had you guys been aware of this family? I know we're hearing a lot that they were performers, they would travel around a lot. Were they?
We're learning that as well.
Okay.
We were not aware of that when we responded. As was asked, we had never had a reason to be called to that residence in the past. So we don't have anything in our CAD or any information that we'd been there in the past.
So the other 2 shots had already been fired, only one was fired when you guys...
That's correct.
I'm sorry if I missed you say this earlier. You don't know yet who the 911 call, the hang-up 911 call?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Do you know yet who made the 911 call?
We do not.
Okay.
Any run-ins with Jacob prior to this incident? Maybe
No, ma'am.
not related to the house?
None at all.
You haven't been there, no run-ins, anything, it seems like a really nice, wholesome family. What are you looking at as far as any motive yet at this point?
You know, it's hard to, kind of surmise what the motive may have been. There's some speculation. We don't really want to get into that part of it, but, we'll continue to investigate this case and try to determine if there's a motive. Just do not know this time.
No one else was home at the time?
No, ma'am.
Would there be any video elements to be releasing today, any body dash?
There are no body cameras in this case.
Kind of a busy week for your office.
It has been very busy, very, very trying on our staff. I got to say my folks, my deputies and our investigators have done a phenomenal job this week responding to, 2 double homicides. And, the one that we had on Monday, we worked very closely with North Royalton Police Department and through joint effort working with them, I think we have the suspect in custody up there, and that was a result of 5 homicides with one individual. So, very busy week.
Have you been able to talk to Jacob at all yet? Any charges pending, anything like that?
He's in critical care.
Okay.
I don't think we've been able to talk to him yet.
How has the family been working with you?
Just fine. The only person we've really worked with in the family is the father. The other siblings were out of town at the time, and I think actually live out of town. So, seems to be doing okay under the circumstances. Obviously, it's tragedy for the family, tragedy for our community.
Maybe I missed this. Where were they found in the house?
You didn't miss that.
Oh, sorry. Where were they found in the house?
You didn't miss that.
Okay. Where was he found in the house? house, can you tell us that?
He was at the front door.
He was at
Yeah.
the front door, just
Jacob?
inside?
Yep.
So when you saw a door open, that was one of the victims that you saw?
You know, I wasn't there, or I don't really know who they saw. I don't know if they saw Jacob or if they saw another victim. I really don't know.
Are you releasing any information on how they were shot, how many times they were shot?
We
where?
will later on. Right now, we don't really have all that, honestly, because we're still waiting on the coroner's investigation to determine, you know, how many times, if any, you know, people were shot, if there were multiple. We don't know. We just don't know yet.
But they were shot.
They were shot.
Could you advise where the location of the gunshot wound to the suspect was? Head towards?
Head.
Head.
What kind of gun did you say?
It was a long gun. I believe it was a shotgun.
And it was the only gun involved in this?
Yes.
Was it his?
I don't know that yet.
Do you know if he had a CCW
I don't know.
or permit?
He wouldn't have needed one, but I don't know if he had one.
Were there other guns in the home?
There were. Any other questions?
Are we missing anything?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It's really early in the investigation, considering, you know, we're not, you know, really 12 hours into this. A lot of unanswered questions for us yet that we're still peeling back the layers, our investigators. As you can imagine, they're still reeling back from our incident Monday. So now we have two pretty high-profile cases that we're working on.
This may be a question for the medical examiner's office, but with the 4 bodies now, will they be bringing in the,
I don't think so. That would be something you would have to ask them. I don't think so. I think we're okay, but, you know, that's something you probably have to ask them.
has Dr. Murphy, has he retired, went into retirement yet? 'Cause-
He retires in July. However, the assistant coroner was on the scene, Dr. Burton.
What's the plan today moving forward? What's next in the investigation?
Piecing some things together, trying to track back records, phone records, maybe things of that nature to determine if maybe there was something going on there, but really just putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Maybe I missed this. Jacob lived in the home,
Yes,
and the other brother lived in the home?
yes. There are 2 older siblings, brothers,
Who did
that do not live in the home. Yeah.
Were there any animals in the house?
I think there's a dog there.
Large dog?
It's a farm, so it's like a mini farm, and there were a lot of animals around the farm. And
The dog was in the house.
I don't know that. I seen a dog there, but I don't know if it was in the house, if it was an outside dog, what it was.
The home happened to have surveillance cameras?
No.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
thank you, guys.